So many douchebags, so little time.
I'm a douchebag.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 alleged celebrity douchebags.
I wouldn't believe everything you read in tabloids.
For this list, we've chosen famous people who are known for being obnoxious, exhibit jerky behavior, or think they're worth more than they really are.
I want $100. I want big trophies.
Evil people like mass murderers or serial killers do not count. For the record, we're not necessarily saying they are douchebags, but we understand why many people think they are.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay.
If you didn't see someone you think should be on this list, be sure to check out our first video on the top 10 famous douchebags, as well as our videos on the top 10 hated musical artists, hated actors, and hated comedians.
I could stand at the top of the list.
Number 10, Bill Maher.
Nobody told me he was going to be here, and that's a man that I would have needed to know. Because of what he is and because of the types of show that he does.
One person's outspoken advocate is another person's douchebag. Extremely intelligent and well-informed, Bill knows what he's talking about, but his positions are oftentimes unshakable and serve to infuriate any who disagree.
If we took the Bible seriously, we'd look over our fence on Sunday morning, see our neighbor mowing his lawn, and think, working on Sunday, I really should kill him.
The cancellation of his successful talk show Politically Incorrect, in his mind due to his comments about September 11th.
We have been the cowards, lobbing cruise missiles from 2,000 miles away. That's cowardly.
Seemed to have fueled him to treat dissenters as morons and fools, which you can imagine has alienated a large part of the audience.
Do you feel comfortable saying, look, you American people, most of you are dunderheads and you just don't understand? And
I do.
You do feel comfortable with
Yes, I do.
that? Okay.
Agree with him or not, it's easy to see he's become increasingly caustic over the years, especially when it comes to religious groups.
I know, and I think it's very interesting that you're a Christian now, you were a Muslim, and when you get your clothes, you buy them like a Jew.
Number 9, Robin Thicke. Some of us grew up watching Growing Pains, and as a result, Alan Thicke became a beloved figure. Now, because he brought a man who felt the need to release a music video featuring half-naked women cavorting around him and balloons that say he has a big dick, Papa Thicke's rep has been ruined for many. We already had Kirk Cameron and his ultra-conservative comments tainting our memories of the classic 80s sitcom.
Do you think homosexuality is a sin?
I think that it's unnatural.
We didn't need some other cheating jerk who's too dumb to realize how a mirror works, coming along and making things worse.
Here's what they should say. I'm a douchebag who thinks he's so smooth. Everyone's dancing.
Number 8, Jesse James.
The headlines say, most hated man in America.
I think it's the most hated man in the world now.
Coming to notoriety as a motorcycle customizer on reality TV, Jesse James created an image of himself as a misunderstood figure who, despite his tattoos, was smart and reasonable.
Be a bad Mimi Jimmy.
Through Celebrity Apprentice and his marriage to Sandra Bullock, America embraced this bike enthusiast, until his infidelity came to light, each time with trashier women, including a purported Nazi sympathizer.
A woman named Michelle Bombshell McGee sold a story to In Touch magazine claiming she had an 11-month affair with James while Bullock was away filming.
Ultimately branded a cheat and a fool, Jesse's image will more than likely never recover, and we won't shed any tears for this serial cheater.
Our whole life is based off second chances, and you get lots of them, and it's up to you to whether you're going to capitalize on it or not.
Number 7, Sarah Palin.
I know, I guess that goes without saying, sort of like giant douche nozzle.
When this former Alaska governor was tapped to be John McCain's running mate in the 2008 presidential election, she had the opportunity to blaze a trail for female politicians that would never be replicated.
In what respect, Charlie?
The Bush, what do you interpret it to be?
His worldview?
No, the Bush Doctrine, enunciated September 2002, before the Iraq War.
It's too bad she had absolutely no business getting the nomination, as she proved herself to be woefully uninformed.
I've read most of them, again, with a great appreciation for the press, for the media.
But like what one specifically, I'm curious that you...
all of them.
In fact, pulling Palin quotes to prove that fact is like shooting fish in a barrel.
Did you think it was okay for a child to step on a dog?
In this case, yes.
Perhaps her worst transgression of all, however, is that the opportunity she gained that no woman before was ever afforded arguably resulted in nothing more than a reality show.
Sanctuary, follow me there. Come on, follow me there.
Number 6. Phil Robertson.
You gotta marry these girls when they're about 15 or 16, they'll pick you up.
The Robertson family became multi-millionaires thanks to their family-owned duck call manufacturing business, and seemingly overnight, their antics on Duck Dynasty won a massive following and made their merchandise omnipresent.
Quit crying. You're like a scrawny Sasquatch.
Hey, like I said, master of camouflage.
The family's patriarch took his new fame and the soapbox it gave him and turned it into an opportunity to spew homophobic, racist, and hateful rhetoric at every turn.
I'm not giving up on them, but I'm just saying either convert them or kill them. One or the other.
Comparing homosexuality to bestiality initially earned Grandpa Phil a suspension from his show.
Robertson says being gay, quote, "It's not logical, my man. It's just not logical."
But the outcry by the show's fan base garnered him a reprieve. Despite claims that he doesn't hate anybody, his words tell a very different tale.
Okay, Don, let me just read some of the more disturbing comments. It seems to me a vagina, he says, as a man would be more desirable than a man's anus.
Number 5. Mama June Shannon.
Honey Boo Boo's mother reuniting with the man who did prison time for molesting her oldest daughter, Chickadee.
The fact that she first became famous for having a daughter featured on the beauty pageant disgrace known as Toddlers and Tiaras really should have tipped people off that she wasn't the best.
Dollar makes me holler, Honey Boo Boo.
Despite this early clue, nobody could have foreseen how Mama June and Honey Boo Boo's reality TV empire would ultimately crumble.
Do you believe your daughter was molested by Mark?
After everything everybody's told me and Anna's told me, I mean, I do believe that, something happened,
You did not read these court documents?
I did not.
Dating a man who was convicted of molesting your own child is so reprehensible that Douchebag may not even go far enough. Yet it feels right to have her here nonetheless.
But right now, we're talking about Pumpkin. She once thought Mark was her father, but now June is revealing who she claims is her real father, and he's another sex offender.
Number 4. Bill O'Reilly.
Because you're lying.
I'm not lying.
You
Bill.
are lying here.
Routinely bringing people with differing points of view on his show, only to lose his mind and interrupt them before they can finish a sentence or make a point.
Are you not hearing me?
Or white,
Are you not hearing me?
Versus white. I don't think selling drugs is a violent crime.
No.
O'Reilly is an arguably horrible host and utter douchebag. But hey, it's good TV, right?
He doesn't have a right to be in this country. What? But that has nothing to do with the fact that he was.
If we were to ignore the endless examples of disrespect for guests and simply consider the legendary internet clip of his freakout on Inside Edition,
Fucking thing sucks.
Bill would be a deserving entry in this list. Shouting down dissenters at every turn, Bill has become a parody of over-the-top news types.
This is just bull.
Cutting
blank.
reimbursements to doctors and hospitals.
You're wasting
That's
our
what
time.
he's talked about.
This is bull.
Bill, I'm
blank.
answering.
Number 3. Teresa and Joe Giudice. Criticizing one of the Real Housewives may be too easy, but this couple stands head and shoulders above the rest in the contest to reach new lows. Whether it was Teresa's insane table-flipping freakout or Joe's fisticuffs with Teresa's brother, a highlight reel of their misdeeds is chock full of crazy.
Real Housewives stars in real trouble. Two of the Bravos, the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Teresa and Joe Giudice, showed up in court this morning.
Their douchey behavior has recently come to a climax with their fraud trial, which led to jail time for both. But they've milked that into more TV interviews and attention, their lifeblood.
Do you think you have respect for the law?
I certainly do. That's why my mom was crying. I was in shock. I do have respect for the law.
Number 2, Ted Nugent.
Look in the camera and say, I apologize for being a lying bastard.
First gaining fame as a musician, the Nuge has since shifted into an outspoken NRA board member and activist.
Duh.
But mainly it's his outlandish, racist, and hateful statements that land him here.
I'm repulsed at the concept of man-on-man sex. I think it's against nature.
Calling the President of the United States a subhuman mongrel,
Communist-nurtured, subhuman mongrel.
among other things, is offensive on so many levels we can't even fathom it. Yet, not only did Ted say it, he mostly stood by his comments when the story blew up.
I think he qualifies.
And we didn't even mention the thing about how when he couldn't marry a girl because she was too young, he instead became her legal guardian.
From the looks of that mustache, I'm guessing you're a tenured professor at the People's Republic of Berkeley.
Hey, the only left-wing thing about me is the way I write. Oh, that's just fine, as long as you're not a Mormon.
Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable, or in this case, dishonorable, mentions.
No, I've gone past asking you for your opinion.
Boom.
I mean, at that point, oftentimes you just lose control emotionally. And you're going to hear people talk about players having to show restraint, this, that, and the other. You know, most people, the average person on the street, they wouldn't even show the kind of restraint that players do just listening to the heckling and abuse that you take in the course of a game.
She actually suffered. We checked this with her lawyer today before I interviewed you, because this is why I booked you, of course, even though you're trying to pretend now this is the last thing you want to talk about.
It's 3 agencies of government when I get there that are gone. Commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there? Let's see.
Number 1, the Kardashians. A family that came to prominence because of one member's involvement in getting O.J. Simpson off in his murder trial and another's sex tape. The Kardashians are shameless fame whores.
She would want the attention.
We were torn about who to choose as biggest douche in a family that includes Kris Jenner, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, and Scott Disick. So the only answer was to include them all as a package deal.
It is very serious, and it does take a lot of work and planning, and I just want to do it right.
Unabashedly obsessed with themselves, this troupe of pseudo-celebrities became more and more removed from humanity as they do anything to garner attention and relentlessly whine about their lack of privacy.
We just could never get over it.
Do you agree with our list?
Not at all.
Who do you think is the biggest celebrity douchebag?
I let them hit it cause he's slaying cocaine.
For more pop culture top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Okay. What does that mean?